What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of 7 on Sunday right here on Beyond ARTV. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already so you don't miss out on future uploads and, of course, more in the 7 on Sunday series. Today, I'm going to be talking about 7 songs that I haven't been able to get off repeat for the past week, month, or maybe even year. Some of these tracks are going to be new, some of them are going to be older, and I'm really not putting any kind of label or constraint on this. It's just tracks that I have been consistently enjoying over time, and I think you guys should check out as well. There's going to be a Spotify playlist linked in the description down below if you would like to listen along with these tracks. I might throw in a couple of bonus tracks for those who would like a little bit larger of a playlist than just 7, and hopefully this will be good summer fun and just fun in general for you guys to take in. I hope you enjoy the countdown.
I'm only human, can't you see? I made a mistake. Please just look me in my face. Tell me everything's okay, 'cause I got it. Ooh, can never be like you.
A lot of people seem to be assuming that I never listened to Flume's album Skin because I never gave it a review. It's just the fact that I'm scaling back on reviews this year. I don't have to give an opinion on everything, and I don't want to feel like I have to put an opinion piece out on every single album that I listen to. If I did, I'd be going crazy, kind of like I was last year, and just with all of the stress that goes along with that, I'm not going to do so. But it is a very enjoyable record, and this single that was released from it, I didn't even in fact know it was a single until I realized it was charting on the Hot 100, and I was like, oh, that's that song that's been stuck in my head for the past 2 weeks. The track is called Never Be Like You and features Canadian singer Kai. It's a really kind of mellow track, and I like this trend in music that's going on right now where we're kind of shifting towards not necessarily intellectual but more thought out lyrical content whenever it comes to EDM and dance. Flume is an Australian producer, DJ, who's been making hits for a while in that country but has finally crossed over to some mainstream success here in the United States, Canada, and really all over the world with this new single, Never Be Like You. It's a track that talks about messing up, regretting a mistake, but, not wanting to feel like that's never gonna be something that keeps you from getting on the same level as this person that maybe you're interested in. And Kai comes through with a really, really heartfelt and sincere vocal performance here, and obviously Flume's signature production style on this track that is definitely kind of fluttering all throughout. It sounds fantastic. It just kind of shakes the beat up during the background. And it's not really anything like I've ever heard before. And I think that's why I'm coming back to it again and again for repeated listens. If you guys have heard this one, you're in the States, maybe you've never heard of Flume, definitely check out his record. And there's a couple of other recommendations that I'll put along with this in my playlist. I'm really enjoying that new track from the Chainsmokers as well, featuring Daya, Don't Let Me Down. I almost included that one, but hey, it's number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 right now. I figured it had enough exposure.
In the beginning, you intrigue, but the way you move, it terrifies me, and you remind me of the things that I don't need.
My next recommendation comes from now, again, Ali and AJ, but formerly 78 Violet, formerly Ali and AJ, Disney Channel stars turned singer-songwriters. They actually were some of the best Disney Channel stars that made music, in my opinion. They actually made stuff that felt a little bit more genuine and not so see-through and transparent like most of the artists. Cough, cough, cough. 78 Violet on this track, though, Hot House. It was introduced to me not that long ago. One of my viewers sent me this and they were like, hey, did you hear that project from Ali and AJ that they did as 78 Violet? And I was like, I think I heard a couple of tracks, and I had heard this one in passing, but I had never really paid it that much attention. I think it came out a couple of years ago, and it just kind of breezed by me in the flood of all the other music that was coming out. But this is a genuinely great track. I love the vibes that I'm getting from it. It's just kind of like, I picture like being in a scenic route somewhere, like in the middle of nature, kind of reflecting on something, maybe like writing a song like out in a cabin. I don't know why I get that feel from the track, but honestly, this is one of those songs that can just kind of carry you away. I love the opening guitar. It just feels so fresh. It's like a big open field, and it kind of opens you up. You listen, you take it in, and it's one of those tracks that just feels good going in, and there's actually a message and a heart here, so I have to give it a recommendation.
Raise our voices higher, higher. Tonight we raise the dead. Tonight we bury this in fire, fire.
Number 5 comes out of New Zealand. The Naked and Famous have a brand new single called Higher, and in fact there's a new album coming out and I'm pretty excited for that. This is moving much more in a synth pop direction, something that I could have easily seen them doing since the start. I love their debut album Passive Me Aggressive You, wasn't so huge on In Rolling Waves, but this new single is just an absolute synth pop banger. This track is perfect for really any dance floor anthem, summer night, any kind of party. It's just a feel good tune, and the opening verse, the first couple of times I heard it, I was not that intrigued, but once the chorus rolls around, it really starts to stick, and then that makes the verses that more applicable to the track. And overall, I have to say that it's very, very enjoyable. The production here is absolute, just kind of like a live wire. You really just set it off whenever you get to that chorus each time, and even the bridge of this track is absolute ecstasy. I have to say that I give them kudos for this track, squashing any beef I may have had with them in the past, any misunderstandings there, and giving you a recommendation.
I've been trying to fix my pride, but that shit's broken. That shit's broken, yeah. Lie, you try to hide, but now you know it. That I'm at an all-time low.
Not the band All Time Low, the song All Time Low by Jon Bellion is my next recommendation, clocking in at number 4. You guys might remember that I reviewed The Human Condition. If you have not seen that review, check it out on my main channel. This is a track that is very repetitive and you maybe wouldn't like it. Not everyone is going to enjoy this track, and some people are going to listen to it at first listen at least and be like, this track is nonsense. But it sticks, and for some reason it seems to be somebody, you know, you're going through it with them. You're experiencing just the lowest of the lows, the bottom, hitting rock bottom, and just kind of like wondering, looking up, like what's next? What's gonna happen next? Jon Bellion, if you're not familiar, a singer-songwriter, also a writer who penned the hit The Monster, the chorus of that song for Rihanna and Eminem. That made him a lot of money. He was actually, up until recently, I think, still living in his dad's house, apparently, according to the opening track on his record, but he came through with such a solid record in The Human Condition. And like I said, not everyone is gonna like it. His style is a little bit out there, a little bit different. It's kind of like off-kilter pop. And All Time Low, while a very repetitive track once you get to the chorus, I feel like that helps the message of the track settle in that much more, and it makes it stick, and it's absolute fire whenever you're listening to the instrumental, paying attention to the lyrical content in the verses, a great combination.
Coming down to the light of day, we got many moons that are deep in place, so I keep an eye on the shadow smile to see what it has to say. You and I both know everything must go away. What do you say?
Time to get funked up for number 3. The Red Hot Chili Peppers come in with their new hit single, Dark Necessities, a big hit on rock, alternative, and even hitting the Billboard Hot 100 at number 68, which is a little bit more difficult for rock bands, I feel like, to do these days, but when you've got as big of a name as the Red Hot Chili Peppers carry, it's a little bit easier to do so. And of course, their music video kind of helped, as it blew up over 10 million views in its first couple of weeks, and you can probably see why. I played that little preview there for you. It's one of my favorite music videos, if not my favorite music video of the year. This track has obviously been in my playlist and on repeat since it came out, and there's a reason that I've kept coming back to it over and over again. This is the perfect Danger Mouse production touch. Brian Burton produced this track, and he comes through bringing some keys to the Red Hot Chili Peppers and adding that in, kind of shaping that along with the funky bass rhythm, the peppy drums, and that awesome guitar solo in this track. You add it all together along with that dark lyricism about where your mind goes in its darkest hours, whether it be drugs, women, whatever vices you might have. It comes together in a combination like stirring up a pot and just getting like the perfect boil. Boil, what am I talking about? Brew, the perfect brew.
I got the deuce in the trunk of my car. Oh yeah, if you only knew all the love that I found. It's hard to keep my soul on the ground.
If you only knew all the love that I found. I'd say I'm pretty lucky to pick up a copy of this record. It got repressed recently and I actually found a copy at my local record store. Garden Grove has been on repeat ever since then. In fact, it was on repeat before that because my girlfriend a while back, not that long ago, but within the past like month or two, was playing that song one night, or actually I think she was playing one of the other songs off the album, and I saw that one in the recommended videos and I was like, oh, let's click on that. Garden Grove, I hadn't heard that in a while, and I was like, Holy shit, I forgot, this is like my favorite Sublime song, and ever since then, I've been in such like a mellow mood whenever I listen to it. I keep wanting to play it over and over again, from the reggae samples at the end of the song to just the lyricism that is totally just straight up Bradley Noel. Unfortunately, due to a heroin overdose in the late 90s, Bradley is no longer with us, and he kind of alluded to it maybe in songs like this. He talks about like being depressed and down all the time, and he referenced it on one of their earlier records too, knowing that the heroin addiction would eventually kill him. But I love kind of the offbeat, no filter agenda that he has with this track. He's just talking about recalling memories, things that are happening to him, just the ins and outs of his day, and how everything can sometimes feel difficult. And of course, Sublime have been known to incorporate these influences of like dub and reggae into their music, and while Sublime with Rome has tried to kind of recapture that, it mostly just failed. And even though those are some of the better songs on the Sublime with Rome records that have returned, still, it's not the same without Bradley, and this track right here captures everything about what Sublime was. Garden Grove may have come out in the 1990s, but this song's message is still heard today, and some of you newer music fans, I definitely recommend you check out Sublime, and this song in particular, Garden Grove, is fantastic. This album is a great place to start with Sublime, or just 90s music in general. Go check out where some of your bands may have gotten their influences from.
all look the same. I think I changed my mind about a million times. On the road to hide, on the road to hide. I'm gonna call this out. I'm coming back somehow. I will run to hide. I will run to hide.
Run River North are finally starting to get some exposure, and that's for good reason. Run or Hide is just such an anthem. It's such a powerful alternative rock song. I actually heard this on Sirius XM's Alt Nation, and apparently they did a tour with Reliant K. A couple of viewers were telling me that, and that's pretty interesting. It's helping them gain some notoriety here in the US, making a name for themselves. These guys are very, very talented. They've been around for a little while now, but they're making some hit songs. They're making stuff that's a little bit more folk-leaning a lot of the time, but Run or Hide is very straightforward with its conflicted message, not knowing what to do. You know, he must have changed his mind about a million times as he shouts in frustration on the chorus. And I'm just thinking, I connect with this so many times in the past. I felt this way, and you can actually connect with genuine songs like this. We need more of this on alternative radio. We need more of this stream of consciousness type thoughts on radio in general, and just the mainstream. I say radio, but really that's a euphemism for like Spotify, Apple Music, the popular charts, wherever you may intake your music. This is what we need to be hearing more of. Run or Hide by Run River North is fantastic. Everything from the guitars, the drum pattern on this track, it might not be all that crazy or creative, but it drives this song home in a very thunderous way. Thanks for watching this episode of 7 on Sunday, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. If you are curious about checking out a recent review that I did on the other channel, or the last episode that I did of 7 on Sunday, you can find those annotations floating around in the cards in the description down below. The full 7 on Sunday list is in the description, the playlist there, where you can catch up on some of the past episodes that you might have missed. Other than that, I will see you guys very soon right here on Beyond ARTV.